It's going down like this, motherfucker.
This shit is crazy. The following
Nigga get mad. Say, motherfucker, what you mean you ain't gonna let me in this funky joint? Much money I done spent in here, nigga. I knew your mama when she was hoeing. Hump, baby. Shit, bet I do it over time. Say that, nigga. Shit. Ball, back the ball, off time. Shit, boy, I'm trying to make me some money. Boy, I'm hungry as a hog meat. Slap Jesus. Shit, gotta be a Jesus, cause too many black folks.
For what he has, for what he has, for what he has, he says, for what he has, he says that, for what he has, he says that the only, for what he has, he says that the only way that we, for what he has, he says that the only way that we can solve our problem is to unite together among ourselves, among our own kind, clean ourselves up, rid ourselves of the evils that we've become addicted to here in this society, and try and
Yes, he destroy black boys. 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 If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man.
Joe Beach, he looked down, seen his feet, the nigga went berserk, killed the monkey, threw the bat out the window, start kicking that bitch in the air.
Say anyway, but I will. The way quantum entanglement works is that you can take two particles, quantum entangle them, and then take those two particles and move them at any distance in the cosmos. And let's just say, for example, if you quantum entangle two electrons and you have them spinning in the same direction, and then you take one of those electrons and you shoot that thing out 100,000 light years from the original. If you then rotate the spin on the one electron, if you modify it so that its spin changes, the quantum entangled electron at any distance will simultaneously in no time switch its rotation also, because they're quantum entangled. So these communication systems are taking advantage of this aspect of quantum mechanics that most people can't wrap their heads around, and this is what they're utilizing. It's just the new level of science that affords us the ability to communicate at any distance instantaneously. Can you?
It's cool enough just being cool, like I am, chilling.
Group of you together, you never can tell. Group of you together, you never can tell who's who. I've seen a lot of black guys, Nipsey, but you're overdoing it. Yeah, plus I'm in love with a bitch I can't stand.
I mean, TikTok. A lot of the white content creators on TikTok get all of their dances from the black content creator.
You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? Yes. I think very deep. I think very deeply.
Dance with me. Dance with me. Dance with me. Oh yeah.
Damn white boys out there. Most of them is psychopaths and all that. They'll kill your mama's mama and you.
Decent white folk that still don't know they're racist.
What the hell you want here, hunky?
Don't know me want it. I don't mean to be rude. I don't mean to be out of line.
Your lines are still open. Oh shit, you can get it, nigga. You wanna get it? Your shit. Get your hands off of me, shit!
The Chinese platform, you already know they don't give a fuck about your black ass. And then
I think we OD. I think we OD. I think we OD. I think we OD.
My world, can't be my equal, I don't know what you heard. Even style. Walking dead man is what they call me when I hit the loot cheeks and pulls up in the dude. Heavy, I'm a walking dead man is what they call me when I hit the loot cheeks and pulls up in the dude.
I guess you go to the history of European civilizations. 250 years is how long they last before they implode because of their greed, because of their violence, because of an inability to let others be, including themselves. If they didn't have brown and black people to hate, they would hate themselves.
Nigga.
Do that dance, baby, do that dance, let's work it out.
Nigga.
To the east. Greetings. This is Big Pontiac, and welcome to the Chocolate Mountain Show. I am the holder of the infinite sacred ball game that was created by the Hero Twins, and I am that one and only Galactic Daddy-O welcoming each and every one of you to my galactic patio that reaches from Minnesota to the universe. Well, hasn't this been quite the day? This has been quite the day of championship weekend as we look at it, the AFC and the NFC and their championship quest. And the first game was really a dud. Really, it was a dud on both sides. I don't think anybody can get over how he threw into triple coverage. Like who does? Like, tell me an experienced person that throws into triple coverage. He threw into triple coverage. That made no sense. And when the Lions back fumbled, when number 26 fumbled, and that really was the game. When he fumbled, he ran the wrong way so that the ball would be exposed. Now, the dude that dove in the end zone, that was set up for him to get it knocked down. He really didn't have to put the ball down. He could have kept the ball tight and still been down there to help his team, but of course he had to fumble it. That goes back to the Ernest Biner. So that was like... And number 8 from Detroit, remember, he dropped 2 crucial first downs that would have kept the Lions in the game. He dropped 2. They let him catch a pass during trash time, but he dropped 2 critical passes, and both passes were catchable. So that was a critical thing for the Lions. I'll say, I've said this in the past, it appears like they will not let the Lions win, even though the Lions are one of the oldest teams in the league. So, but I'm jumping all ahead. Let me back up. And I didn't bring my glass up here, I noticed. But It's no surprise how I'm doing it. You know, I only do it one way, and that's Great Lakes, Elliott Ness. So pop them if you got them. Huh. And cheers. Cheers to all of you. And let me turn my fan off because it's hot in the motherfucker up here. I haven't hardly been up here all day. I think only to get dressed. And it is burning down the motherfucking charts. So, you know, I'm almost finished with my joint. Well, not really. But, you know, this tells you how much I smoked. I could have got some flour for like $100 an ounce. So probably it's pretty good flour. But I just don't know if I can smoke that. So smoke them if you want them. Oh. All right, who's in the house with me? Dr. Sinister, what's happening? Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Brother Sean, how is it doing down there? How you been, man? How is your family? How's the weather down there? Because I think it's our winter, so is it your summer down there? David Liggum, Knights of Columbus, strike again. They did indeed. PJ Allen, what is happening, my man? The Ravens were out coached. Where were the short game? Where was the running game? So okay, this is like when I was watching the first half, one thing it made me think of is why didn't you put Hunt in? Or Cook, excuse me. Why didn't Cook go in? The week before, Cook got some nice runs. And you telling me that you don't play Cook at all? Like, did Cook do something? Cook was going to be their one threat to stop them from blitzing him all game. They was sending 6, 7 people at him all game and not worrying about what was behind him. But no run game. They didn't establish a run game the whole day. And like, why develop Cook and then you don't use him? I didn't see Cook. Did anybody see Cook play? I didn't see Cook play at all. And that's one thing I didn't understand. It would have made him be honest. That's what I would have came out doing. Because, see, I looked at probably what the thinking was. When Cook comes in, he doesn't know the offense. He doesn't know the blocking schemes. And they're going to think he's going to run. That's okay. The one thing you could use him at is make him a flare or outlet. But if you keep him in there enough, then, make him have easy assignments. Give him a screen. Give Cook a screen. And then, the throws to the back, for the first down, he throws the ball, we saw that a bunch of times. So, CWE, I called the Chiefs. You called it. You did indeed. You called the Chiefs Niners. I appreciate it. I got the Niners winning the Super Bowl. I don't know yet. I think we're going to have to look at a few more things. Quite the day exactly. Butterfingers, KC got, a lot of holding. A lot of holding wasn't called by the lineman. A crucial hold. Pass interference should have been called towards the end of the game that wasn't called. Why? It just goes into, and then there's a bullshit thing going around says that Taylor Swift being involved with the Chiefs is $300,000. That's cap. 300 million. Excuse me. This bitch just being around, more people is buying shit because of her. Get the fuck out of here. This was a $1 billion business without her. That's all cap. Because remember the numbers they said that Dion generated there. That's what it seemed like they was trying to do. So that's cap. Don't believe that shit. Because she goes to a game, couple home games, all of a sudden 300 more million people going to buy, $300 more is going to come into the coffers of the Chiefs. That's cap. Or as we just say, that's straight bullshit. So that's straight bullshit. It's been all right, brother. Rainy here, and even in our summer weather, manipulation at its finest. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna look up the article, but they say it's gonna fuck up the trees if we don't get more snow. And you know what I say? As much as I love the trees don't have to drive. So it will rain enough eventually for the trees. But like, you know. And so Jamar, what's happening? Jamar 3224. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. My Niners are back. Oh my goodness. You know, I'm going back and forth with my cousin all day. I told you my cousin lives in Memphis, and you know, normally I would be messing with my friend Tony, but Tony's been sick the last week. You know, he actually got COVID. And so, you know, I kind of, you know, I normally call Tony every day, but you know, he been sick, so I kind of, you know, I could tell this, you know, that he you know, needs to get himself together. Or normally we watch the games together. So since he's been sick, you know, I haven't done that. So I was messing with him. I was like, well, I know my cousin all here. I was like, I was like, yeah, he all here. I started messing with him. But you know, I like good football, and like like he's good play. You know, I'm sitting. I was like, damn, that was a good run. You know, I'm not really a Lions fan like that, so I don't really care. So I was just looking at good football and good plays. Now the Lions left 6 points off the board, which was stupid. Both times he did it, it was stupid. And the way they schemed, you could see. And see, that's why I try to show scheming sometime. Because, you know, like a lot of people just, you show the back end of him being triple teamed. And no dish to you, but I'm saying show the whole scheme because you can see where the scheme was made to fail. So when they ran them fourth down plays and didn't make, you could see the plays wasn't really made to get the first down. The plays was made to fail. And I mean, if you just analyze the scheme they're doing and what they were putting together, you can see like they ain't really trying to get it. Like what did they have one time? Fourth and 1, 4th and 2, and they threw a pass? It made no sense. It made no sense. It made no sense. I'm like, you throw, you know, or was it 4th and 2 and they didn't run the ball? I'm like, you guys been blowing people off the line all season. So I don't know. I'll say what I liked about Purdy is that motherfucker sat in the pocket to the last second. He took some hits. He was like, he held it to the last second a lot of times. Now him running and escaping, that was definitely cap. That was come on. He's a short dude too. He ain't fast. He ain't quick. And you just telling me that nobody can chase him all day. He can just get away if the pocket goes around and everybody overruns him on purpose. Because, you know, the pocket is made, you know, as a C. It sees around you. You know, the pocket is like an umbrella coming around you. That's why they say, you know, your passing lanes, you step up, you step to the side, because the way they're fanning out for you. And there's no way they can't catch that little dude. So don't expect that don't expect. That's one thing I'm going to tell you. Don't expect him to get them runs against the Chiefs. He's not going to get them runs against the Chiefs. I wasn't overly, I mean, the Chiefs are not as good as they were last year, I don't think. But the Ravens, again, the scheming and the play calling and the situation was like stupid. And if the Lions would have took two field goals, they would have won the game. They would have kicked those 2 field goals, they'd have won the game. They'd have won the game. So Dan Campbell, and he goes for it the most in the league. It was stupid football. Meant to lose. But I'll say this. Think about it. The Lions, as I said before, the Lions was the first team to pay $1 million for a team. They was the first team to pay $1 million. And from that $1 million, it turned into $1 billion business. And people was going to games when they was 0-16 or 0-17. I think it was 0-16 is the record. People were still going to the games. And so, you know, I guess from what I was saying, you know, last night, that the Lions being rewarded for being a faithful NFL team, you know, they've been making money, you know, what is the old thing? Hand over fist. You make money hand over, you know, you know, and so they don't care. And that's really what it is. They don't care. They're not. I think it almost goes into the cities they destroyed. You look at Cleveland, they destroyed, and you look at Detroit, they definitely destroyed on purpose. And I guess they can't do anything to really uplift them the way football will uplift them. That's the only thing I can really that really comes to mind. It's like, yeah, for some reason they're not going to get uplifted. So, but they're gonna make money. The games are probably gonna be sold out again next season, and that's really all the Detroit people ever cared about. Because let's not forget, Barry Sanders, they didn't put nobody around him. And Barry was a lazy football player. Nobody wants to talk about that. Selfish, lazy, didn't want to catch passes, didn't want to block. So, very lazy football player. But I don't know. I thought, it was some dumb calls. It was some real dumb calls. Hey, Lorenzo. Hey, Siova, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Niners going 6-2 in the Super Bowls. Hey, Siova, thank you for joining. Lions coach was ready for Cancun. Yeah, he definitely was. By not kicking in field goals, that cost them the game. It really did. My cousin's uncle and aunt, I know they happy about their Niners in the Super Bowl. Yeah, my cousin in Memphis is too. What happened to the Lions? They let us down again. Yeah, Royal Bill, they definitely did. Thank you for joining. 4th and 2, 4th and 3, exactly. And you ain't running the ball? You ain't running the ball. You've been going heavy all day. The beautiful thing they did scheme right was putting that big tackle, making them eligible. They was really blowing some out, but they when you needed it and you put that wrinkle in. And did you see the time where they got the first down and that big dude was open? They never ran that again. He was open in one play where they got that first down. He was open too. If you didn't know that 58, I think, or 51, whichever one they was using. And yeah, they wasn't. And again, when the dude fumbled, the dude purposely went the wrong way. He purposely went the wrong way so the ball was more over here. Because he cut in too deep. Because he was supposed to be a little further out. He cut right into the quarterback. The quarterback was so he didn't get it right. But I think he was supposed to actually go the other way, the way he handed it to him. He went the complete wrong way. So... But Purdy gonna get blown up by the. I'm telling you, he's not gonna get those runs. He's a little guy. God, man, just to see him make them runs is like, come on, you got to be kidding me. It reminded me of how stiff Brady was when he would try to get away, or Manning was even worse. Think about this: Peyton Manning couldn't run, never had a big arm. He didn't have a big arm even in college. And how did he hurt his neck when he hardly ever got hit? That's what I could never figure out. I'm like, who's hitting Peyton Manning like that? I guess I'm going to have to go back and find where Peyton Manning got hit like that to hurt his neck. Yeah, because they wasn't holding on his people too much. And that's why Peyton Manning did what Joe Namath do, just short passes. Now, Joe Namath did have a bigger arm and more accurate, but short passes too. Ravens was supposed to win if it wasn't for the 2 turnovers. Both were turnovers that wasn't smart. Yeah. The Packers were a better team than the Lions. Not better defensive and not better line play. I don't think. I think the Detroit, again, if they kept to what they've been showing all year, it was a much better their offensive line, and they were very creative with it. And, they like one time he threw a bad pass on one of the crossing patterns and they kind of went away from it. They're like, San Francisco is the best at keeping them out the middle. And I was like, they wasn't really that good at keeping them out the middle because later they brought it back. But number 8 purposely dropped two costly first downs. 2 costly first downs that he should have caught and he dropped both of them. Number 8 dropped 2 costly first downs. And I was like, why is he still in the game? That's what I'm looking at. I'm like, wait a minute. He's choking, and you still got him in there? You telling me ain't nobody behind him? Shit, come on. Then that showed me, too. Okay. So I don't know. I mean, the shaming of Lamar does not surprise me. It remembers like Lamar when he had a chance to beat the Titans and Lamar ran sideways. Remember, he had the chance to get that first down and he ran sideways instead of running forward. That's the Lamar we saw today. And that Lamar, and maybe that was his way of showing us that it's fixed by throwing into triple coverage, because that play made no sense. Didn't make any sense. What kind of read did he get? You got one man in the formation, safety's high. One man, broke. Nobody else on the other side. I mean, it made no sense. And you're looking like, this is something that a high schooler wouldn't have did. So, hey, Joey, thank you for joining. I appreciate it. You see how careful the Lions were tackling Purdy when he ran. He had the whole open field and could only get, he didn't throw any. Oh, and that one deep throw the one that bounced off his head should have been an interception. The one that bounced off his helmet, I've said before, it's some kind of magnetics and repulsion in the face mask, I think, too. I've said before, face mask. There's something in the jersey, and we know the grip gloves. So it can be a repulsion and an attraction, but he should have caught the ball. Like he should have stayed up balanced, but he should have caught the ball. Like you can't even knock it down. It's just perfectly off your face mask, and he's going to catch it. But he should have caught the ball. That was one he should have definitely caught the ball. That was very suspect that he didn't catch the ball. So, yeah. And Purdy scrambling. I mean, come on. Who he scrambling? Yeah, they was like you could see like even with McCaffrey. Man, McCaffrey ass got popped. He got thrown on his head. That last run he did, dude threw him on his head. Remember they was working on his neck? They got him in the end. But they wasn't tackling him solid either. It was like the first two dudes miss him and then they finally get popped. After starting the game, popped his ass. They started the game, he got popped. And then the rest of the game, missed tackles like we always see. So, the Eagles was like 10 missed tackles that they said that they saw, but it was probably more than that. So we see, I don't know. I just think it's, to keep those cities down, because Detroit, even though it's a mission, it's for the whole state, it's still that city. And that's the only way I can figure it. They did get rewarded enough that they had a good season, no doubt. They won a playoff game. Those decisions not to go for the field goal, that made no sense. That really didn't make sense. The going to 4th and 2, 4th and 3, and you don't run the ball, didn't make any sense. Man, remember, after they got Kansas City tied the game, the next offense, they couldn't run the ball. Remember that? All of a sudden, they can't run the ball. They tried 2 straight runs. I mean, it was like, and when they had another when they did the flea flicker, he could have threw a touchdown, and the dude was wide open. And then they tried to say the reason why the ball was so short, he didn't get his feet into it. He wasn't able to grip the ball. Most people can throw the ball. Most quarterbacks can still throw the ball 70, 80 yards without the strings. Or he didn't even have to throw it that far. Let's say 30 yards. He could have threw 30 yards without the strings. So that was big. He missed that on purpose too, because that was a touchdown. Dude was behind him. And he it didn't even look like he tried to throw it to him at all. He threw like a 15-yard pass when he needed a 30-yard pass. So that was pretty bad too, and that became evident that and golf is might be one of the lovable losers too. No way to get around that. Hey James Gant, what's happening? I bet whoever picked the Chiefs made some money. Nobody picked the Chiefs. I don't know. I don't know. But you're right. There was a lot of money on the Lions, and there was a lot of money on the Ravens. A lot of money on the Ravens, and the Ravens defense really didn't play bad. They didn't get outplayed. It just wasn't getting any help on offense. But I didn't think they got played bad. The Lions lost, but the Pistons beat OKC. I saw that. They sure did. Dude had, 20 and 20? Dude had, I know he had 21 rebounds, I thought. I think he had 22 points and 21 rebounds. Yeah, I caught that. Caught that right. Oh, excuse me. Caught that right before I was coming on. Man, I should have brought some water up here. I'll take care of it. Yeah, so... first game was boring, though. No doubt that Kansas City game was boring. I definitely picked the Chiefs. Okay, that's good. That's good. And we got a whole week to really try to pull it all together and to see who we're gonna put in it. Man, it's freaking hot up here, and we got that fog up here again, y'all. We have another fog advisory. Like that's some weird shit. So today it's gonna be almost 50 degrees today. Monday it is going to be almost 50. Yeah, this is gonna set a record. For the what we got the 29th, right? 29th, isn't it? Yeah, the 29th is going to be 50 today. And then it's going to be 40 degrees on Tuesday. It is going to be sunny and 53. I might play pickleball. I might go see somewhere I can go play some pickleball. Yeah, on Wednesday 53. 38, 38, 40, 42. It's going to be a beautiful week. Beautiful week. Beautiful week. The fuck is this? Okay, are you sure? Oh, what the fuck is it? Oh, are you sure? Yeah, they showed, yeah, did y'all see that picture of Eminem flipping the motherfuckers off? Let me see if this is that. My phone had it. Oh, here we go. Did y'all see this shit? Eminem is fucking him up. They fucking with him. Eminem is like, fuck you 49ers fans. Because, even though you got the box and shit, it'd be motherfuckers sitting outside the box. Eminem is like, fuck these motherfuckers. Fuck you guys. Fuck you guys. You're losing, Slim Shady. I wonder why he like them little ugly hats he be wearing. All the shit you could wear, and this is the bullshit you wear. Of all the great shit you can wear, this is the bullshit you wear. That is so funny. Oh, that is so funny. What did he say, Richard? Yeah, that was Detroit Super Bowl, and that fumble really hurt them. Yeah, and he ran the wrong play. Yeah, the running game was unstoppable again. Yeah, they stopped running. They stopped running both of them, though. They stopped running both of them, which made no sense. And then these, times you do want to go for it, and then times to not put them points on the board, that just, come on. Come on. Did we do this one yesterday? Let's see because they be getting us. They be getting us. Let's see if this is a playoff guy. They don't really give. So this cat, wait a minute, what is this? Publish, bleed. Oh, okay, this is some kind of local. I don't know if I can count that one. I don't know if I'll count that one. God damn, some of this shit is funny. Did Gibbs get hurt? Yeah, I don't know. I'm glad I know that I thought the AFC Championship game was boring. I was falling asleep during. Yeah, I was. Yeah, I had an adventure to go do today, and then came back, and my wife was like, her and her mother was gonna go do some shit because she wanted to go look at a house, and I was like, yeah, what? Nah, because she didn't leave the crib to 1:30. I'm like, no, I'm definitely not going with you. I'm watching the game. And so, just watching the game and shit and cooking, and, it wasn't very exciting. Oh, I wonder if we count this chick. Giselle Bundchen's mother died. When did this chick die, though? It says 6 hours ago. Let's see. Oh. So Brady's mother-in-law died. Do I got a picture of her? Let's see. Brady's children's grandmother died. They don't show a picture of her, though. So her name was, what was this chick's name? Vana Maria Non-Minchia. What the fuck is his name? Look at this name. Non-Minchap. How do you go? Non-Nomenchacher Bundchen died Sunday in Brazil. She was 75. She died due to cancer. So she actually died Friday. This her? No, it's Judge Judy ugly ass. So Tom Brady's, yeah, look at that. That's a very rough looking face there. That's a very manly looking face. But I guess it's her mother died. So So, you know, that you can't discount that. The mother was little famous. So that's one we got. And you see, what's his name is going to the Eagles. The old quarterback. Yeah, Kellen Moore. It looks like Kellen Moore is going to be an offensive coordinator for Hurst next year. And then we have, I know this cat's name. We have, Fangio. Fangio is going to be the defensive coordinator. So they kicked the other two out. I think it was a brother calling plays last year for Hurst. And so now they're going to bring, and you know, that other guy, the one guy got fired from. So, and Fangio older than me. So he's the oldest, but shit, Dick LeBeau coached till he was 75 years old. Shit, Dick LeBeau could still probably coach. He was in his 70s and was still on the sideline during them cold games, which was kind of funny seeing this old motherfucker, you know. He's on the sideline freezing, you know. So, looks like the Eagles is upgrading in that way. Another thing about the first game, it was like, okay, so Kelsey's heavy today. And the one pass that he just threw up in the air for grabs, I mean, come on, nobody responded to it. Just the dude falling was the only one could get it. It was like, man, come on. Ain't nobody reacting quick. And it was the Lions dropped a couple interceptions too. Easy interceptions. But like the one where it hit a face mask, he should have caught it. It went right between his hands. He should have even fallen. He should have caught it, falling back. Still should have caught it, but he didn't. What has he been charged with? What does this say? What did he do? Oh, okay. What is Mug's name? They call him an ex-hockey player. This ex-hockey player, ex-NHLer Alex Formenton has been charged by police in Canada and turned himself in. Says Alex supposedly might have taken some booty. Sexual assault by several members of the junior team. Okay. Is charged and several other players did not say what the charge was facing. Okay, that's kind of vague. So this is when he was younger. So they 5 players will take a leave of absence over the past week from their current jobs. 5 members of the team have been asked to surrender to police to face sexual assault. Senator now plays in Europe. Okay. So he got hemmed up. Oh well. Queens Council New York Councilman, Queens Councilman Paul Vallon. Okay. Dre was killing him with the running game in the beginning. Exactly, Lorenzo. Okay, some councilman. Okay. His name is Paul Vallon. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So we've got. I don't want that. Okay, yeah, it's not the only one I can get. Not paying for that shit. Damn, he had a big ass egg head. Look at this head. His head is perfectly like an egg. Guess this is why Europeans usually throw a wig on that thing. That thing is really egged off. He's like really an egghead. Remember like Batman used to be Mr. Egg or something like that? He used to be an egghead dude on Batman. He's almost like one of the Coneheads, but not really. Former councilman 56 died of a heart attack. A member of a long line of leading public service died unexpectedly Saturday. He was 56, but they waited to say it. Sunday. Okay, so he died Saturday evening. Okay, so who's currently serving Veterans Deputy Commissioner. serving as New York's Veterans Services Deputy Commissioner. Suffered a fatal heart attack at his home and was rushed to the hospital, but could not be revived. The father of 3 was upbeat and happy before he died. Man, he was an egghead motherfucker, though. Okay, so I don't know what taste he had, but the beast does not. It'll select. Suffered a heart attack at his home and rushed to Flushing Hospital. Gregory Mango. He's also bringing free senior transportation programs, benefit that shuttle seniors to for medical appointments. They do that here. Came from a line of public service, stretching back over half a century. Served as Queen's judge, so he was connected. So yeah, he got a taste. So the beast called him in. Wow. Thank you, guys. The beast called him in. So, taste. Oh. Probably so. Damn, this is Joni Mitchell. Damn, I mean, some people, boy, they get old. They look like they walking around a mummy. Like a mummy walking around. Yeah, here they confirmed the Eagles. Yeah, the Eagles did hire Fargio. So that is confirmed. Elizabeth Smart back in the news. Oh, okay. We might cat. Let me see if we can keep this cat. Let's see. I mean, the beast is not picky who it gets. Okay, when did he die though? Doesn't really say. Doesn't say when he died. Yeah, they don't really give much about this cat. So, but he played in the world of sports. So he's won. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna look tomorrow, and I'm gonna start counting tomorrow. I'm gonna say tomorrow is officially, today. Later, should we count this one? Should we count these? Hell yeah, I guess it is Monday. All right. This is gonna be the first one. Now I'm gonna go with that old Vallone. What was his name? Let me see. I can see from here. Paul Vallone. We're gonna count him. And he was a council person. And this is Malcolm Gregson. Gregson. I've never heard that name. Ryder Cup player. Yeah, we're going to see all these people that got to taste it. So, hey, Chris Matthews, how you doing, man? Thank you for coming through. I appreciate it. Why come Eric Bieniemy name don't get mentioned to head coaching jobs anymore? They didn't have a good team. I didn't really like the few games I watched of him. I didn't have any. I think what I didn't like what was done in Kansas City is he game planned with Andy Reid all week. They game planned together. And, Bieniemy, it doesn't seem like, Andy Reid still wanted to call plays. He kind of handicapped Bieniemy. Because I think it's like, and I know, it's two minds trying to put something together. I guess you do have to have one mind, but I truly thought he held him back. But some coaches is like that, they want to do everything. And so he had his chance, and nobody was impressed the way his play calling. His play calling didn't make a difference. And again, they didn't have a good team as well, so that had to be considered. Smart watches for seniors. And you guys see Apple got hit where it was another health thing, but they blamed them that they had taken that health thing from someone else. You know, I talked to someone that said they bought some shit from Tamu, and they said Tamu been charging them $7 every month. It took them 7, 8 months to figure it out. No, it was like 4 or 5 months, and the bank said, "Do you know this is happening every day? Every day they was taking $7 out every day. It was like up to $80. They had taken that much. And it's like, is this you doing this?" She's like, "No." So, Saturday Night Live. It was funny. Well, just the part where they did the primetime news, that shit was funny. Justin Timberlake came up there with his brother. I didn't know who the brother was, but I might be able to use a little clip. Fired Bills offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey lands jobs. He's ex-quarterback too. Ken Dorsey used to be a quarterback. Who's he going to? Oh, he's going to the Browns. Oh, I don't know if that's a step up. I don't know if that's a step up or not. That doesn't sound too fun to go from the Bills to the Browns, but you never know. The Browns got a good defense. But it was a smooth day. I enjoy, like the thing I do, and I made a nice good salad. Had to do it a little adventure this morning. Took me about an hour to do it, and was in the crib the rest of the day watching the game. How motherfucker be. You be in the crib, you cleaning up shit. I had to put my wife's clothes in the dryer. She's washing some delicates, and just puckering around in the house and shit. Getting the shit together here. So yeah. So it's a chill day to watch the games, and really, be able to analyze them. I ain't trying to make any money on the games, I'm like, okay. Sometimes I feel like it, and sometimes I just want to watch the game and don't really care to show these little shorts that, these plays is obvious. And again, they want the games to last longer. They want you to talk about the game all week. That's really the aim of the off week is that you continue to talk about the game. So they can get down there, you're talking about these other games. And that's one reason for the bad calls is so you continue. It's a part of the game continues to live. They've done this for the past, this has, been the aim of this stuff for a long time. Bad calls on purpose. Misplays. And, there's no way the coach is going to get out of, not kicking those field goals. That made no sense. They would have really won the game on the extra 6 points. They could have won. But this dummy, I think he went for it on fourth downs 4 times. Oh my goodness, let me show you this shit. Now, when you get essential oils, you can't really put them on your skin. You got to have a carrier. But what this is apricot oil and coconut oil, and it's it has, I don't know what, bergamot and rose and Fani maybe, but it's all natural. This shit is comes from Marshalls, and it's a lot. But my hands take a beating. I pretty much got to wear gloves. When I go outside, my hands take such a beating. Without gloves, just the cold affects it, but it ain't really been cold. But this is some good stuff. It comes from Marshalls. It's $6. It's essential oil. It's good for your hair. It's good for your skin. I put it, I still got them rough heels. I gotta, sand off and put this kind of shit on there. So this is some good stuff. I have another bottle and I spilled the other bottle. The other bottle's got about so much in there. So it's downstairs when I need it. So, yeah, that kind of thing. So, it's kind of like this. You know what the AFC Championship games is like, and everybody can identify with this. You know what the games are like after they're over? It's like Christmas when you're younger. You get all hyped and excited, and then after it's over, it's like, it's like you got the toys and you got everything, but it's like that you got that high, and then it's the low, and then the first game being kind of somewhat not entertaining is a pretty big letdown. Now it's over. It's kind of that low. So, but I salute to Lobo and Dale and the fellas. I mean, they was killing it tonight. I love their breakdown. So I know Lorenzo was listening to him too. So I was loving the way they was breaking down, and everybody's talking about that triple coverage pass. It just come on, that's just like. I looked at that play and I'm like, that really made no sense. Like the read made no sense. Like it really didn't. His read made no sense. The first down that he threw behind the guy, like, come on. Like that was horrible. That was like early game to give you momentum, and you just like pretty much threw the ball where you couldn't catch it. And I thought, wow. And remember, he threw some outs horrible. Like he threw like so it took him a while to get a groove in. But I really think he's gonna be the lovable loser. Probably a role like Steve McNair, but they let Steve McNair go get in the Super Bowl. And like somebody, if you think, and I want to mention this about Vince Young, what y'all got to understand is Fisher hated Vince Young. The owner wanted Vince Young, not Fisher. And despite, Vince Young having early success, coach was never behind him. And that's a young quarterback. That's a death sentence. You got to fight the coach, and you got to fight what's coming at you. And you notice coach don't believe you. RG3 was the same thing. I mean, they tried to hijack him by drafting Cousins. Who does that? Who does that? You got the number 1 pick overall, and then you turn around because that was Snyder wanted RG3. They wanted Cousins. And then the talk, and RG3 ain't went after them dudes hurt his leg. He went after Gruden, but he didn't go after, what's his name? Shannon, whatever his name is. Schottenheimer's. He didn't go after, is it Schottenheimer's? No, it was, trying to think who got him hurt. Who got him hurt? That first coach that was up there and talked him into playing when he was hurt. And he was never the same after that. And then Jay Gruden really, now when he had, if I didn't mention this the other night, when RG3 was going after Jay Gruden, you know what he never mentioned is it was when he played Dallas, and luckily or interestingly Stephen A. Smith saw this, and this might have been Stephen A. Smith and Skip, and they both said that it looked like Jay Gruden was trying to get RG3 hurt. He put a 3rd or 4th string line, and Dallas like blitzed. Like people on the Dallas team was really trying to hurt him, go after him. They trying to make their name. Here you got this guy got all the commercials. You don't think these people want to make their name on him? And it literally looked like he was trying to get him hurt in the preseason by who he put around him. And it looked like the defense was willing to hurt him too. And then I've said before, they've hurt guys and ruined their careers on purpose. And some guys still get to play, but they're not the same. You can't say OBJ is the same. He ain't getting open. You notice they was pressing him, and he wasn't getting open. I mean, he got a couple little ones, but nothing breakaway. Remember, they destroyed his ankle in a preseason game. Who goes low on another player, a brother in the preseason game? Nobody does that. Nobody does that. Nobody tries to destroy somebody's ankle in the preseason game unless you're told to do it. And I bet that guy is still on the team. Damn, did y'all know that, I didn't know this. See, I wouldn't touch this shit. Cocaine users warnings as drugs, deaths soar. People are dying on cocaine? Cheap and pure street drugs that contribute to a stark rise in cocaine deaths. In the northeast of England. Okay, over in England. Okay. Cocaine was a factor in the death of 471 people in the region since 94. Okay. The vast majority of deaths, okay. As drugs, what is this? As a drugs charity call for changes to drug policies, longtime users said Class A drug is more available than ever. So they've been keeping records of it since 93. Robert, not his real name, is 53 and has been using cocaine as a teenager. The Middleburg man takes crack cocaine every day. He takes it every day and estimates he spends about 3,000 liras a month on the drug. It's everywhere, he says. This town is ravaged by coke. It's the worst I've ever seen. It doesn't sound too bad if you spending that much a month and you can get it and it's available. It don't sound like it's too bad for you. Everyone I know is on crack cocaine. 10 years ago, there was not as much of it about, but now availability is horrendous and it seems more acceptable. It's still classified as a hard drug, but recreational use don't see anyway as it's available and so many are using it. It used to be expensive, but now I can get cocaine for a fever, whatever that means. It used to be expensive, but now I can get cocaine for a $5. Okay, $5. $5, okay. Yeah, you just get a nickel bag of cocaine. The death rates remaining to destroy lives, rising death rates. Okay, dangerous cycle. Okay, this is some bullshit, but it's funny. Leave cocaine alone. Dude was like, can you imagine a crackhead, you know, in England and shit? What is crackheads like in England? You know, shit. Where's some fish and chips at and shit? Is that what happens? You know, you're robbing the fish and chips man. So what is like? I would really like to see that, to follow a crackhead in England, because you know one of the funniest things I saw here when I first moved here was to see them Somalian crackheads. That was quite an experience. The Somalian crackheads was funnier than motherfucker. I was like, no, wait a minute, you telling me you came from where you was about to be killed, and then you come over here, and the only aspirations you have once you get over here is you got a couple hits of crack, and now you want more. And since they kind of make it easy for them to not, you know, do a whole lot and can get, you know, scam whatever they can get, but they're in America and they living somewhere pretty cheap, and so these motherfuckers became crackheads. That shit is funny to me. Very funny to me. So, of all the things you can see, mellow. But yeah, it was a cool day today. You know, I look forward to this week. Beautiful day tomorrow or today. Shit, Monday. I can't be up too late. I know I started late, but I ain't gonna stay up too late because I do gotta get a few things done. And the days are longer. It's not getting I talked about this the other day, but the days are getting longer. You know, they said this still is a trip. This woman killed this dude and said the reason she killed him was a drug-induced psychosis. That's why she couldn't quit stabbing this mug. And this is the father. Grieving, the 26 are speaking out after the woman responsible for his death was sentenced to probation and community service for her. When we heard the verdict, we felt the system had completely failed my son Chad and our family. The judge didn't do his job. Chad's father said he didn't do what he was responsible for. He went against the recommendations of the district attorney. He went against the recommendations of the probation officer, and the community found her guilty. So he obviously didn't respect the community's decision either. The judge presiding over the case ruled 33-year-old audiologist had fallen into a marijuana-fueled psychosis and had no control over her actions when she stabbed 26-year-old Chad 108 times, which equals 9. And still you got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so Chad must have been like what was Chad doing? You know, how did she take, like Chad don't look like he too much of a punk. How did she take him by, you know? How did this little woman, like, what was he doing? Like, what was he doing when she was, like, thinking about stabbing him? What the fuck was she doing? She looking at him crazy in the motherfucker. Like, I ain't do that shit. Oh, what? She looking at him crazy. But she got off. She got a slap in the hand. Anybody who knew him, he was a very sociable person. He would gauge with anybody. California officials torched for appalling crime crisis. Okay, so the story is Spatcher was smoking with Chad in his Thousand Oaks apartments before she attacked him. Both took several hits from a bong loaded with marijuana. It was loaded, y'all. In a statement, Subcher had an adverse reaction to the marijuana and suffered from what experts called cannabis-induced psychotic disorder. The state's mental health expert reportedly determined as a result she was unconscious while she stabbed Chad dozens of times. Not dozens, she stabbed him 108. They know, they count them all. She also stabbed her dog And then she was about to stab herself when the cops came. Jurors found her guilty of manslaughter, but the court only sentenced her to 2 years probation and 100 community hours. When asked whether there would be appeal process over a punishment, Sean said he had not yet discussed those options with the district attorney. Well, that's some European on European crime that we don't hear much about. Damn. Yeah, we don't hear about that every day. Bill Belichick. I don't know, these old cats, they've been trying to bring younger cats in. And I'll say this, even though some cats are, young and but I still don't mind seeing the younger minds in the game. My only problem with the younger coaches is they step over a lot of brothers and a lot of, just European even veterans that could be good coaching minds. And they've selected the Gruden's was the same way. What's the Rams coach? That dude. San Francisco's coach. His family. I mean, they made an effort. The NFL really made an effort 15 to 20 years ago to make all these family people involved in football one way or another. And, they daddies was coaches or whatever. Because, Gruden's daddy, I don't think he was ever a coach. I think he was actually a scout. The daddy was a scout. But he had worked for a coach. What's the Rams coach's name? Him. His family. The Rams coach. Ivans, whatever. Club Fortune, thank you for joining me. The wide let's see. OG got one catch all game. Yeah, he got the one where he fell. No, I think he might have caught two because he caught the one. Yeah, he caught a short one too. He fell down and caught a short one. I thought he had two, but maybe you're right. Yeah, the void callousness on my hand. I stay wearing gloves. Oh man, I'm telling you. When I go outside, I got to put a pair of gloves in my wife's car, but normally in the winter I have on anyway, but I have a pair of gloves in my car that, when I pump gas, I always pump gas with gloves. I don't never pump gas without gloves. That's all year round. I keep some gloves. I never touch that shit. That's some nasty shit. And if you live out in the country, you know the kind of people touching them gas pumps. People work around that stuff, touching stuff, so... And I'll tell you, I just don't know if Jalen Hurts is the answer anymore. I just don't know. They say he was hurt most of the year. Okay, I understand that. He was hurt. But he didn't play good football. What's this shit here? Okay, I guess we can rock with this right now. Yeah, LBJ caught two. Yeah, I thought he caught two. He caught a short one where he fell down. It was like a 2 or 3 yard one, and then he caught that one to get the first down. He caught that one too. Yeah, they were. Yeah. And dude diving when he really didn't have to dive. He was too far to dive. See, that's the play is he was too far to dive. Like when that dude dived for the touchdown, he was too far away. So the whole play was suspect. And then, on top of that, he hits his hand and cuts his hand like he's that pissed. I think they told him to do that stupid shit too. Like hit your hand and cut it. So, it's like, wait a minute. But when he dove, it was like he wasn't close enough. So why not keep possession? Why you got to put the ball out there like that? Why not just keep possession? You inside the 5. There's no reason to dive from what was he, about the 4 when he dove or the 3.5? He wasn't close enough. So he put that ball out there for it to get to fumble. So this story, I don't know about it, so it sounds interesting. California officers shot in ambush were not verbally warned that suspect had a gun and was on PCP. California police officer dispatcher failed to tell 2 officers before they were fatally shot by a convict gang member that the suspects reportedly had a gun and was under the influence of PCP, methylamphetamine. Feminine, crystal meth. So officers, El Monte officers, Michael was 42, was ambushed and killed on June 14th of 22. He was responding to a stabbing at a local motel. Another officer was wounded. Justin Flowers then killed and shot himself, which sounds very unlikely. The 911 maid reported that her daughter had been stabbed by Flores, 35, her 35-year-old husband. The 7-minute call, Zapata repeatedly told dispatchers that Flores had a history of violence against his daughter and was under the influence of PCP and meth and was armed and dangerous. He's on PCP, he's got a gun. The information was not communicated by the radio to the dispatcher to the 3 officers who went to the hotel. Investigators say Flores ambushed officers when they confronted him. Wait a minute. So he wait. To confront him, they would have had to know where he was at. So obviously they didn't know where he was at for him to be confronted. Right? They confronted him, but he ambushed him. So they didn't know where he was at to be ambushed. That's what ambush means. You don't know they're there. So that's some bullshit. Okay, so detective, whatever, the case confirmed the dispatcher did not inform officers over the radio that Flores possibly had a gun, was on drugs, but information was typed to the computer-aided dispatch system, spying on a computer in their vehicle. Definitely had all the information in their boxes before they arrived, so they were able to look at the call and review it. Monitors the dispatchers shouldn't be blamed, putting it on the one person, which is the best who relayed the information. So, and 2 dudes got killed. Well, I don't know if you can really say that that's that guy. I mean, that is what first-degree murder is laying in wait. So, okay. Okay. And that's, not even local debauchery. But yeah, it's, it is so frustrating. You watch these games and you think, like, will Detroit ever get a break? And I've talked many nights on here, like I've said over and over again, and I know I was hopeful. I was hopeful for Detroit. But, I've said over and over again, I doubt that, I said I doubt in my lifetime that they'll ever let them win. And it seems like them, Cleveland, the Cardinals, I mean, it just seems like they're locked on not ever letting those teams win. Yeah, and financially, the teams aren't hurting from not winning. I mean, just think if Detroit is competitive for the next 4 or 5 years, even if they don't win, people are still going to support them. I mean, you think the people ain't going to love the Ravens just because, they lost and Lamar lost? But Lamar he's turned into the lovable loser. He's definitely turned into the lovable loser. And another thing is, like, think about what San Francisco did last year with Purdy. Kept him in the game despite he couldn't throw. They had a backup quarterback in there. They had a backup quarterback dressed. And they still kept Purdy in there. Why do you think they did that? That was to take that shaming to be rewarded in the future. They did not try to put a quarterback in. They just conceded the game. They just conceded the game last year against the Eagles. They conceded it. Instead of putting their second-string quarterback in there and trying to win. So this is how they get repaid. You play that part, you lose then. So, today I feel that I feel like that with Lamar, he was like the 4th. Okay. Zoo Flowers was way too much undisciplined. The fumbling, unsportsmanlike made no sense. It made no sense. In New Jersey, you can't pump your own gas. What? Royal Bell says in New Jersey, you can't pump your own gas? Really? They pay motherfuckers to do that? There's nobody that even, bums around here ain't there. Well, where I live ain't really. I mean, I guess if you hold a sign up, you're kind of a bum, right? That's how they, panhandle here. They just hold signs around the highway. The fixers need whipping teams. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I can't say I disagree with that. Yeah, the one where he caught the ball and he stood over dude was stupid because they would have had the ball inside the 10 and they had the ball outside of the 20, you know, or they were like what 11, 12. And it's like, again, he did that all that stuff on purpose. You know, he did that on purpose. That was all acting. Telling you, they got earbuds in their helmets. They play baseball. They got earbuds on the field. Everybody got earbuds. They already tell you the quarterback and the defensive caller got them. All of them got them. Like I said, that dude dropped 2 key passes. Drop them. You know, they tell him because we know the gloves can make you catch. All right. If they want the ball caught, we know the gloves can make you catch. That's a proven. If they want the ball to be caught, the gloves can make them catch any ball. So we know when number 8 dropped them, they was dropped on purpose. They was dropped on purpose. So, yeah, I learned that New Jersey law makes you not want to pump your own. Yeah, makes you not want to pump. Yeah, I learned that the New Jersey law makes you not to pump your own gas. Wow. Okay. Yeah, those green things on the helmets. Well, they're not always. Well, sometimes they're green, sometimes they're yellow. But yeah, those little dots on the helmets. You can call a play up till until the play clock goes off. You can talk to him. It's a cutoff, not shortly like the clock. What is the clock? Play clock 25, 35 seconds? Once that it's 25 seconds for the play clock. Once that clock hits, you can talk until I think they cut it off at 10 seconds. So all that time you making, adjustments, they still in your ear. So, and the same with the defense. So it's everybody. Everybody has somebody communicating with them. Everybody has somebody communicating with them. And so and as I said, if they want the ball caught, the receiver ain't got to have good hands. They got the technology where you can catch it. So it ain't, always. He just dropped it. Nah, they didn't want him to catch it. Because they want the ball caught. It'll stick to your hand. So that's, that is the best way I can put it. And so we saw it scripted and the calls, I didn't think that was a big part of it. But again, at crucial times, you expect a call at crucial times. And the Lions not running the ball. I mean, it was just all kind of things that made no sense. Just made no sense. Of things that they do that are advantage, So that was another problem I had. But I had a good day, Really didn't lose much money. I didn't have a lot of bets, so didn't really lose a lot. Didn't hit on my other bets though either. Brock Purdy did get injured, and backup did play, only just got injured too. They didn't have a third string quarterback, so they had to resort to McCaffrey to play quarterback. Yeah, I do remember that too. I didn't remember. Oh, yeah, I guess he did get hurt. Okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I guess he did get hurt. That's right. But he still was kind of embarrassed. He was still kind of embarrassed. They some of this shit, they soak it for months. It's funny. I wear twin stuff all year round. Yeah, that Viking shit is put up. That's true. The gloves should have been good enough to catch those. Exactly. Crash and shit. Also, players have earbuds because they have plays. Players mic'd up during primetime games. The mic and earbuds is going to go together. Yeah, I would just say the earbuds too, though, for control of the game when they have to make decisions. I think, a lot of decisions, again, is, it's that snap judgment. The egghead man in the room, they got a bunch of them. That is going to disappear too. So I don't know. But I enjoyed myself today. That's the most of it. It ain't all about, trying to make little punk ass videos to get some views and shit. Sometimes I don't really care, because they like this a lot less. They like this a lot less. Me just to come on and talk and philosophize and show stories that are funny and debauchery, because it's always debauchery. And that's the life we live is a lot of debauchery. Where's the other thing? I think it's something heartwarming that I could bring up. Let me see, what is it? No, that's not heartwarming. Okay, I like this. Okay, this seems good enough to. I am. Who told you I was sick of it? I was. I think this is okay. I'm neutral. All right. If you're dealing with depression, this might help you. How long is this? I might have time to run downstairs and get something. Oh, I got something to drink in the bedroom.
Millions, and for some living with depression, it's tough to treat. But a new therapy you might not be aware of is actually yielding fantastic results. It's called transcranial magnetic stimulation, and it sounds a lot scarier than it actually is. While it's not a new method of treatment, doctors are working to get the word out because it really can help people with what psychiatrists call treatment-resistant depression. Barrett Leone has more.
This drumming is the sound of hope for patients at LA Mental Health Clinic in Mendota Heights.
We're extremely stubborn as physicians and we won't stop trying. There's always something else that you can do.
It's called transcranial magnetic stimulation, a treatment that deals with depression that refuses to go away.
People who have depression, they're sad, they're hopeless, helpless, they feel often worthless, they're very guilty, they have low energy, low motivation. Sometimes they're thinking about death or suicide. And those are all symptoms that we hope will get better, if not completely go away with the treatment.
The FDA-approved therapy has been around for more than a decade.
Your job as a doctor is always to hold that hope for people when they don't have it, but having a treatment in your back pocket that most of the time works is really rewarding.
But Dr. Susanna Yasberg says, for whatever reason, it's not well known.
It delivers a series of pulses with a 20-second break, and it does that over and over again for 20 minutes.
Those pulses target the neurocircuitry of the brain.
It adds energy to the brain to treat depression, to kind of turn the brain back on so that it can utilize the neurotransmitters that are already there.
TMS is time-consuming, requiring 30-minute sessions every day for 6 weeks.
Doing anything when you're depressed is hard, let alone advocating for yourself to find the right treatment. And so we try to help people and walk that path even before treatment starts.
But the results speak for themselves. Nearly 70% of TMS patients say their symptoms are cut in half.
By the end of treatment, they're feeling 50 to 100% better. It's pretty magical.
Changing lives.
This is a huge change over the course of a month and a half.
For the better.
The best case scenario is that somebody comes in and then we never see them again.
In Mendota Heights, Barrett Leone, WCCO News.
Business casuals out, smart casuals.
That sounds like some bullshit to me. That's some straight. Damn, I left the light on. Damn, I gotta go turn the light off. Give me a second. All right, sorry about that. I left the light on. So I mean, I'm laughing only because the machine looks some that might work for somebody. I can't say out of hand that won't work. There's definitely a bed of lights that it's definitely works. I know Bomber was pushing it. And I know a chick that had it here, so I got to try it, and that stuff works. You can get like just a thing that's it's about big as a book of just lights that you could just do for your head. It's very kind of similar to that. But it's a whole bed you can get too of kind of similar technology. I'm from what I heard of it, So I don't knock any of it. Man, it's gonna be 50. It's gonna be a nice day. So I'm not gonna go too much longer. When I'm about an hour, about an hour and a half. So I'm not gonna go too much longer. I just sit here and read. I need to get some reading in. Yeah. So the world is pretty good. Yeah, good. So there's not a lot of debauchery going on. Oh my man, Ancestor Productions. Check out his newest one. He's been on. Check out his newest one. Damn, okay. I guess this is a little bit. How long? This is okay. This is a week ago. St. Paul parent faces possible charge after gun goes off during family night. So this motherfucker, first of all, you can't take a gun into school unless you're working as the peace officer. But off-duty cop or off-duty person, guns are banned from schools. So how the fuck did his gun go off? Somebody's gun go off. You can't even take a knife. Like, when I used to pick up my daughter and had to go inside, I'd forget. Because I normally carry a couple knives. And I'd forget. I'd have to leave the knives at home. You're not even supposed to have the knives in the cars. And, I park in the handicap. So, my car's first. You're not even supposed to have the knives on school property. Or a gun. So thieves target EV charging stations around the city. Oh, I know they were stealing copper from the lights. Like these motherfuckers, they can't even have lights because people are stealing the copper out of the lights, and there's somebody out there buying the copper, or they wouldn't be doing it. It's just like, the people, so I'll let him tell it. It seems like a funny, goofy story. All right, let's tell it.
Was the most challenging year when it comes to wire thefts. The city has paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to replace streetlights after the copper wiring was stolen, and now thieves have another target. WCCO's Kirsten Mitchell shows us why they're after electric vehicle charging cables and how the city is trying to curb the crime.
That's why I haven't picked anything up yet.
From stripping down air conditioning units.
I couldn't believe somebody would do this to a veterans organization. It was just unbelievable.
To leaving streets in the dark.
I don't feel safe because I can't even see myself.
Copper thieves are now also leaving electric vehicle drivers in a lurch. These cables at an EV Spot Network charger in South Minneapolis have been cut, replaced, and cut again.
There's not even that much copper inside one of these charging cables because of all of the insulation. You need a pound of it just to make a couple bucks or less at the scrapyard. Meanwhile, replacing these cables costs thousands of dollars.
The city of Minneapolis says they've replaced at least 44 charging cables and have another 20 or so to go.
That's frustrating for everybody.
Our Car, which operates the EV car share program across the Twin Cities, says some drivers are getting frustrated looking for a working charger.
There are also other challenges as far as getting materials in a timely manner, weather conditions and things like that.
God damn, where did he get this ugly motherfucker from? What does that say? Does that say, God, I don't know, I can't tell what brand. This is some ugly shit. At least your t-shirt, you got a t-shirt on, but you put this ugly, God damn, dude, you really bought this ugly thing? I hope this is where you work or something. That shit is ugly as hell. Damn. Where is your, oh man, where's your style, brother?
It's possible to replace these cables, within the same week that they are stolen.
In an effort to deter thieves, the city is adding cameras, signage, and making sure recycling centers are on the lookout for stolen copper.
due to being a nationwide issue, there has not been a single solution that has been effective at 100%. So we're still trying to look at multiple factors to see if together they can.
I mean, you got like even the motherfuckers was stealing catalytic converters. You got to be a really hard up dude. Like my neighbors stole mine. I know they did off the daddy wagon. They took the catalytic converter off the daddy wagon. It was like I had got a flat tire and I couldn't make it in the garage. And that one day they stole it because they had just moved over there. And then all you could see this all in the area. And then the daddy, because it was like 5 or 6 of them in the house, and then the daddy had a broken foot, which I'm pretty sure a car probably fell on. He said he fell off a bike, but they was fucking with them cars, and the car probably, up and jacking them cars up or down. One probably fell on his foot or something. So you got to be pretty desperate. Speaking of heartwarming, lately I've been watching a lot of baby videos. Oh, okay. Colin not even right. Oh yeah, that shit was really ugly. I'm like, damn, dude, yo, where is your style? Who is your stylist? Shit, it's been motherfuckers broken houses and stole copper and blew them the fuck up, blew themselves up. Oh, finally it's getting cooler in here. Good. See if I can go without this fan on me. Man, but I heard it's my furnace is still kicking out that stuff. So it's gonna be a beautiful day tomorrow. Nice sweatsuit day. 50 degrees is definitely sweatsuit day. Crackhead activity. Steel catalytic converters. Yeah, yeah. That is so. It is. Like people that don't want to like work a regular job and want to work, they work something that's fairly kind of could be unsafe because these people got shot for stealing that stuff on cars. And then now, it's harder, like especially this state, it's harder to sell that stuff because it is platinum in them. It's platinum and rhodelium. It's a couple of things that you can melt them down and get, but you got to have the equipment to do that. So this state, they're cutting down on that kind of thing. It ain't too many of that stuff you can just blindly like you could, because at one time you could just take that stuff anywhere. You can't anymore. So they're more cautious now. You got to prove where you got it from. Unless you can cook it down yourself. I would dare say. Oh. What? This might be funny. I mean, it might not be, but it might be. I want to see this shit. This is a little bit of debauchery. Okay, I definitely want to see this shit. Okay, wait. You're too fast for me. Okay. All right. This just looks funny looking at this shit. Look, this bitch is all on the car. Why is she all on the front? Oh.
It's a sight so unbelievable. A bystander pulled out a cell phone. The woman clinging to the hood of the car is Ali Zacharias. And it was really scary.
This is her. Oh shit. I haven't done this in a while, but you get this.
What are we doing?
We're riding on the car on the hood.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
We're on the hood of the car flying around.
What are we doing?
We're riding on the hood of the car.
What are we doing?
We're on the hood of the car. That's what we're doing.
I'm sorry.
Okay, this is her. Okay, this is her. Let tell us, honey, what happened?
Who's trying to save her beloved French bulldog. Onyx, who had just been dognapped, grabbed from under a lunch table at a Whole Foods in downtown LA.
It's hard to have him ripped away from you. I wasn't willing to just let him go. My last resort was to stand in front of the car, tell them not to go, and they drove right into me, and it pushed me onto the hood, and I just wasn't going to leave the car at that point, and I held on, and they took off.
Zachariah says these scrapes and cuts are the wounds she suffered on January 18th. She says the three women and man inside the Kia Forte went down Grand Avenue and eventually swerved and she rolled off. Write it out plate. Just the last number is visible.
They were African American, light-skinned African American, overweight, not huge, but just medium size.
She says all four people
Kind of like Heavy D.
inside the car were in their mid to late 20s and that the thieves were wearing t-shirts and sweats and had no tattoos or other distinguishing features. But Onyx does. Look closely. One is green, the other pale blue. And he has a big, loving personality.
Please just sell him back to us. At this point, like, we don't care about anything except getting him back. So we're not looking to press charges. All we're looking to do is recover, our baby.
Since that day, she worked tirelessly to track down her buddy and is even offering a reward. She tells us there's been at least one credible...
Now, wait a minute. In this state, dogs have chips in them. So you telling me can't nobody chip? The dog ain't got chipped? That's funny right there. Look at, okay, that's when she just got, after she got throwed.
Somebody told us that they were coming here with Onyx.
Met her in the parking lot of a CVS where she was hoping for a reunion, but it turned out to be a hoax.
This is funny. Look at her hair. Look at her. Watch her hair. Look at her hair blow. Look at her hair is blow. Oh, this is so funny. Oh my goodness. This is funny. I need Frenchie. You took my Frenchie. I'm a joke on the car until you get back. Oh. Shit. Motherfucker took my dog. I'll be like, really? You want the dog that bad? You just go grab the dog and run with him? Oh, I understand. It's like kidnapping your child. I understand, but goddamn. Oh, look at her hair. Oh, like, they're really moving. Oh my goodness. I mean, they're really moving. Oh, let me turn off this stuff so I'll stop. But they're moving fast. I'm slobbing and shit. Oh my goodness. Okay. I guess that was debauchery. I guess that's debauchery, y'all. So it says alleged sex assault on female officers by inmates. Wait, I mean, it's not funny, but it kind of is. Okay, so alleged sexual assault on female officers by inmates raising alarm in California prison policy. So it's that easy to assault a female officer or even a male officer because, some people might be looking for something else and can't stop it from that, like the man said, do you want it? What was his name? Them French joints cost. Oh yeah, I live next to when my daughter was born, we lived next door to a lady that she raised champion ones. She raised champion. Like we'd be watching the Westminster. I think that's about to come up. I think February Westminster comes up again, I think. And she's raised some dogs that have made it all the way up there. So she has them, and they were so cute. You go run back, and they'll chase the shit. I mean, they're really fun little dogs. They really are. Man, you ain't got to walk them that far. You walk them half a block, these motherfuckers want to take a nap and shit. So they're not really much bother to take care of. Like a production, yeah, it kind of did. You know, I have fun with this shit, fucking with these people. So I want to hear what they say. I want to hear what they say about prison inmate on sexual assault. I'm not aware of this, so make me aware. Because, you know, maybe it's something we can, you know.
Female correctional officer was battered and held hostage for hours.
We're horrified. This is the worst case scenario that we all prepare and try to avoid happening every day when we go to work.
Staff from the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation contacted Fox 11 News, asking us to protect their identity.
Women do not feel safe. Even male staff don't feel safe.
Documentation from the CDCR reveals that on January 20, 2024, inmate Robert Lawrence Ransom Jr., a convicted killer from Los Angeles, was able to gain entry into a control booth similar to this one at the Sierra Conservation Center in Jamestown. Staffers say Ransom physically and sexually assaulted a female correctional officer.
He did try to impersonate another staff member, and once an inmate is able to gain access to a control booth, they're pretty much in control of the building themselves. And so if he was able to overpower her and take her weapon, at that point, you know, she's a hostage and she's not able to communicate.
The inmate was inside the control booth from 9:30 p.m. on Saturday until 2:30 a.m. on Sunday.
Grounds don't have visual. They can't see what's occurring in the control booth because it's elevated. So it's a dangerous position.
Staff members say they wouldn't be speaking out if this was an isolated incident. They tell us correctional officers are no longer safe in California prisons.
There's no repercussions anymore for things that are occurring inside the department. So if inmates batter staff, attack staff, the consequences are changing. They may not even necessarily get put in administrative segregation anymore.
You couldn't pay me enough money to stick around the train wreck that is happening and that's going to happen.
After 16 years as a lieutenant with the CDCR, Hector Bravo Ferrer quit, saying he no longer felt safe.
The daily assaults on staff members, battery on staff members, attempted murders on staff members.
Hector and staffers who called Fox 11 News.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Jamar. I don't know what would take the sound out. But it's okay. Well, I'm not going to go too much longer anyway. It's 2:00. So what I've been going on about an hour and a half. No sound on that one. I wonder why. It was just
Minneapolis says 2023 was the most challenging
sound there. So the staffers don't feel safe. Yeah, so you know, I don't know. It's just some of these stories can be so funny. You know, life is funny, and I can laugh at myself. You know, so often. I'm always joking with my wife. You know, my children are sharp because they always, you know, I give it to them if they ate. You know, it's just, you know, I love to laugh, and you know, that's all. And I hope nobody thinks that, you know, I'm laughing at their, you know, behest or whatever you want to call it, and that's not the case at all. That much? Oh, okay. And so I hope everybody has a positive week. Damn, this was a recent fight? I gotta watch this motherfucker. Damn, I ain't even see this shit. Yeah, I gotta watch this shit. I didn't know this nigga fought. Oh. Yeah, I gotta watch this. So I didn't even know. Like, how do people? This is a question, you know, because I'm retired. I had to retire, and well, you know, I did work. A year or so ago, 2 years ago, almost. I tried to work, and the shit made me hurt my hands even worse. But I don't know. Like how every day, you know, like with when you don't work, every day is like your own day, and it's like every day is pretty much the same. And like the hump day is something that's a fairly new thing that kind of gives people a peace of mind. They came up with a spell to give you a peace of mind. You dig? And that's why they came up with the term hump day. To break your chain that it's yeah, I know. 12 hours. I know where I gotta be. But to break the spell. Oh, excuse me. To break the spell of thinking the work week is long. And just remember, it wasn't that long ago, like 100 years ago, or slightly longer. People were working 18, 19 hours a day. When they brought a lot of these the peasants, the European peasants, these people, remember, the children were working. And these people's work day was 18 hours a day, every day, no day off. And these people were they were working all this time, and they was still getting pennies on the dollar. And I look at the way they say inflation and the money is today compared to where the money was back then. It's strange. It's strange looking at things. Like now they say a car, like a '89 car back then that cost 18,000 would be like a car costing 50,000 today. And that it didn't really seem like it was like that equal. That 20 did not seem, especially in the mid '80s and early '90s. I mean, the way money was I don't know. It was those were times where you could make a lot of money, and so for them to say that this was worth, so it says like I guess the money everybody had was worth even that much more, because it was a lot of money from really 1981 until about '94. It was a lot of money around. I didn't see it like a real recession until I think what was it? My son turned 5. So that had to be 8. Yeah, 2008. That was the first time I really saw, a real recession. Not to say I've been always booming, but I'm saying it didn't seem like back then that money could really stretch like they say it was, or that it was worth that much back then. It didn't seem like it was. Now I know things, the one thing I've talked about, I remember when um when the steel Rolexes was never more than like you could get, I think now, yeah, we got the set of steel ones in '86. And I don't think they were more than 3,000 for the two. And that wasn't with any gold in them. It was just the regular steel, oyster class, whatever the fuck that shit is. But it wasn't that much. I mean, I can remember when a presidential was still like less than $10,000. I can remember that. It was still less than $10,000. That's why motherfuckers was just getting the bracelets, wouldn't get the watch. They just get the $10,000 bracelet. Remember Miami Vice? For those of you Miami Vice lovers, remember when the sergeant goes with that young dude and the young dude shows him the bracelet? The young dude be like, right here, that's 10 grand. That screams drug dealer. Remember the sergeant gets picked up and then they go to the trunk to get the dope and the car blows up? Yeah, remember the very first Miami Vice? But he had that big chunky bracelet on. And nobody can forget what built up Miami. Like you watching that Griselda story, that story is kind of a trip. They downplay New York. So I don't know, I'll keep watching it, but it seems like what I've seen so far, they're kind of downplaying her involvement in New York drugs. But I'll wait to see the rest of it. I'm only so far in it. And I don't know. I gotta still watch that BMF thing where they're robbing people. They say they got robbed with some dudes with Adidas outfits on and gaiters. I never dressed like that. I never wore gaiters with Adidas tracksuits. I was straight up Florshams. I love Florshams. I'm gonna buy a pair. Before I go back to A&T, because I put on my Facebook page about them Florshams, and one of my boys was right. They used to call them insurance man shoes, but them shoes are still in style. You can still buy that style of shoe today. Shoes never go out of style. Can't wear them because just the way they're made, they're not padded enough. Well, I guess I could put stuff in them to make them a little more comfortable, but that's still, that's how I used to dress, the fur coats and hats. I've been always wearing hats. And not, baseball hats. I wear baseball hats just as more as I wear the other kind of hats. Always wore hats. And again, I think I talked a little bit about this before when where hats, what really hats come from, and that's Zoroastrianism. Zoroastrianism, Zoroastrianism. The cat you see where he's flying on the wing, and he's got his hat on. And he's the one that really put out there that you should always protect your crown. And there's a picture out there of Booker T. Washington. He's giving a speech to a lot of brothers and sisters, and all the brothers out there got on hats. And it's just, that's the idea of it. It's, you always want to protect your crown. And that's, when they talking about the tin hat, they're just talking about really any hat. And so that's something that is, we don't really know that gentleman, but we do see that men and men and just the society in general love of hats, So, well, a lot of us, we pay the money for the hats. We pay the money for, what we pay for. And, I've said before, you should look as good as you can afford. I guess that's the best way, Like we was watching this stuff the Zeus networks, and what's funny is people don't understand if you know what you're looking at. So all the girls got these chains on, and they're all got the names, and you can tell it's what do you call it? What is the zirconium that starts with the mazakite, the mazakite stones? The clear mazakite or mazakite stones. I mean, you could tell that the chains was clearly that stuff. I mean, there was really no shine to them. And what's interesting is that you could see that the jewelry purchase looked like it all came from the same place. Like you didn't see any piece, like just if you looked at the people, like the pieces they showed, masconite. Masconite, is that what it's called? But anyway, it's not, it's not all diamonds. It's that illusion thing, I can't wear platinum, but I can wear silver. Really made silver more popular again. And silver's living. I've said before, I say this all the time. This chain ain't shiny unless I wear it. Like, you can look at this. I got to clean this off all the time because it don't really be on my skin like that. Not like the chain. And think about it. None of this, like think about it. It's 4 or 5 inches that ain't really touching me other than hanging like this. So if you don't think, what is it? What was it called? Venom? Symbiotic. The stuff becomes symbiotic with you. And silver is the one thing that if you really want to get in touch with the micro, silver is one thing that can take you into that. Yeah, I want to watch that. And the reason why you want to wear silver and make silver move certain things is because it will do that. It makes things do what they're supposed to be doing. So. Oh, the G League player that killed the lady, he's in court. Now that's a big drop to go from G League player to murder. That's a big drop, and the reason is so crazy. So I find that that is a rattling story. What would make somebody do like that? That I don't know. I could laugh off that, but I won't. Before I forget, man, this was my journey. Check this out. This is a rancher special for you. This is straight up shearing, and this is wool lamb. And what's cool about this is let's see. See, it was made by this. It was made by this furrier. I don't know if y'all remember this furrier. What is it? Yeah, Brennan's. Berman's. They had one of these in Michigan. So, big rancher coat. And it's warmer than motherfucker up here, but still, it's a good deal. This motherfucker's in excellent shape, and this is fur. So. Scoop that big motherfucker on. I should have put it on. There we go. Big heavy motherfucker. Dude I bought it from, he had a female coat. He's like, what about this one? He had washed the fucking the wool and the shearing. He washed that shit and he fucked it up. It's like, yeah, no thanks. He said, all you got to do is put some sheen and shine on it. Like, yeah, no, not that one, buddy. This one to do. And I'm going to take that to a place that cleans furs and have them refresh it. Like I said, it's warm here. Don't need none of them. It's been so warm. You can always set different things up. This girl wrote, Shirley Temple, 3-year-old working woman. Yeah, it's kind of like that. It does seem like they pimped her out when she was a very young girl. Hollywood was used to be terrible. What? Damn. It's kind of funny. So it says a Mississippi mom charged. I guess it was cold in Mississippi. Lorenzo was a really cold Mississippi. And this chick apparently left her baby. I wanna hear about this debauchery.
Auto, home, and life, and save up to 25%.
All right. Okay. Oh, it's too slow. Oh, too slow. So I want to see how cold it is. They said it went viral. I ain't hear about this shit. So I don't know how viral it could have went. Okay, let's check it out.
And she says she knew she had to do something quick. Felicia Darling said something to the mother, as did a male customer. Here's some of the interaction.
He came in here with that jacket on. Yeah, he did. That baby just had a pamper on. That's all he got on. I can't.
She just an innocent soul. He didn't ask to be here. So I took action and I started recording her. Minutes in the video, she throw cold food on the baby.
Yeah, don't do that.
And he sadly just looked down.
Somebody call police on her.
It seemed like in his eyes, he was just looking for help. He was crying out for help. A man was telling her, you throwing cold food on the baby. She walks off and flirts.
Look at that again. Let's see it again. Oh my goodness. Oh, that shit is so funny. Oh, come on. Twerk for me, girl. Start twerking again. Twerk. Do it. Oh, look at that lid on it. What kind of hat is that? What kind of bonnet is that? Everything's better with blue bonnet on it. So what they do? Oh, shake it, but don't break it. Wrap it up and nobody will take it.
But when you come in the store fully dressed in your baby's name.
A customer in a riding shopping cart purchases an outfit for the boy and dresses him while the mother flips through her phone.
After the lady in the riding cart put the outfit on the baby, she walks out of Walmart and started walking to her car. Was walking to her car.
I'm hearing it through here. Okay. They took the baby from her. Did you hear that? They took the baby from her. The people took her baby. Oh, that is so funny. The police took her baby. CPS took her baby. Y'all remember that? CPS took her baby. Her ass went crazy. They said the baby was shivering. Damn, the baby was shivering. That is, I don't know what to do. Damn, shivering. That is just crazy. They were shivering. So I don't know. And somebody else had to buy the baby clothes. Like, she didn't even have the good sense. Like, how did she leave? Like, who gave the baby to her? Like, how do you go to a store when it's kind of cold outside and your baby, it ain't summer no more, and you fully dressed? How you just gonna carry a baby with just a clean diaper? I guess she kind of just thought that, I don't know. I guess she just thought once she went in the store, you'd be warm. I'm looking at it, but they said the cops took the baby. They took the baby from her because that is a child abuse. It's cold outside. You got to dress the baby appropriately. So, I gotta watch this. That's what I do. So I'm gonna go off. But thanks, PJ. Yeah, the code is cool. The code is cool. It doesn't look like I'm gonna get to use it a lot, but the code is cool. So, but it was a good deal. So that's why I scooped it. I love coats, and I was looking for something like that, and got it. Yeah, I'm about to watch this fight. Yeah, this fight. Oh, it was a month ago? Really? I had to see this fight. If it was a month ago, I had to see it. Hidden power. Not after he got shot. They shot that dude. He couldn't hit that hard anymore. Still boxed. Dude named Big Cat Williams. Got shot a couple times by cops, arrested him, and had to shoot him for some reason. Don't know the story that deep. But I know he kept boxing, and not long after being shot, he boxed Ali. He was one of the ones that said Sonny Liston had put something in his, to made his eyes, like he did Ali. Made his eyes all, can't see and shit. So, but yeah, that's all that's going on in the world today. I don't know if I'm gonna be on tomorrow night. Can't say. Just wanted to, and yeah. So we'll count the two unforgettable events today. I appreciate y'all coming though. Thank you. I'm sorry you couldn't hear the sound on these shows. Thought I fixed it, but evidently, well, it shows here that it's playing. I know you guys say you're not hearing it, but as far as my system says it's playing. So I'm trying to check my system over here, and it says it's all okay. So I'm not sure because I can hear it, and the system shows it's playing. So I don't know. Well, I know I turned that shit on. Where'd that shit come from? It came from somewhere. It came from somewhere. All right. Well, I'll give a few minutes for philosophizing before I go off. I mean, I hope I started talking about, the way people look at the week and stuff. And, I think some people go into the week as they got something to do every day. I think some people like the structure of work, the structure of having, something to do and things to accomplish. I mean, I applaud all of you. You know, if you think of like a mechanic and, you know, the amount of work that he has to do in simplistic style, it's pretty simple what you have to do. You find out what's wrong with the car, you take the old stuff out, you put the new stuff in, you test it to see if the stuff works. I mean, that's pretty simplistic. And for some people could do that kind of thing forever. It was like, you know, when I showed that show about the jail and saying people getting attacked in the jails and stuff. There are like one thing I never liked about having that kind of job is it was obviously that you in the jail too. I mean, regardless if you only doing 8 hours, your 8 hours is in prison or jail, whichever one. You in there too. And I never really liked that idea of having to do that. Not for long periods. Best to avoid having to stay there. And I did apply for things like that, you know, and I'm not sure why I did not get to work for this prison system here. I passed all the qualifications, the tests, the interviews, and sent resumes out to the jails I picked and never even got anybody got in touch with me. And I remember working, I met a girl, one of my friends dating a girl in jail, and she's like, they never hire you. They don't hire black folks. It's like, oh, okay. But that was how straightforward she was. She worked in one of the jails, Tyrone, one of Tyrone's girls. But she's like, they won't hire you. I'm like, oh, okay. They don't want you up in there. I'm like, okay. And that's what happened. Never got a call or anything, despite the tests and everything. And it wasn't that great a job because when you had to go through their academy, they didn't pay you shit. I mean, it was almost like you was doing the training for free. It was like back then, it was like $5 or something for training. Yeah, it wasn't good. It's like you still had to have a job while you're doing the training to work in the prison. That's how fucked up and low the pay was. You'd have to do something else because that pay wasn't great to get the training. Then you'd make more once you got in, but at first it was like that training was like, shit, this ain't really worth it. Training was kind of, didn't really pay a lot. So, but as I was saying, is the people that like to be challenged, and that's a good way to be in life. Definitely when you stay busy, you know, it makes the days go. If you do have to work for somebody, the busier you are, the more active your mind is. And some people like that active mind all day, all the time. I think that's what, you know, when older people do retire, that's probably what they miss is that, you know, that active stimulation of trying to figure out or do something all the time. Like my mother, you know, worked up until recently. She just recently retired, but, you know, she would never turn off the job. You know, the job was so much her, and she took on so much responsibility. There was things always looping of what needed to be done. And she couldn't really turn that off because that's the way she was programmed when she went after something. You know, answering questions, you know. So that's a healthy part of it too. The interaction with folks. Oh, this is a healthy part. So it does have its advantages, you know, socially, you know, working somewhere, and especially when you've worked there for a while. And you know whatever you do, you know. And it's like one thing that's pretty general. No matter whatever you do, whatever you're specializing in, what you specialize in it over and over and again. It's things very similar. And that's, you know, why you have the specialty, whatever you do. You know, it's that same thing over and over again. And so, you know, for you that you that do that, and that stimulates you, that know that about yourself. You know, really know, and that's what really knowing yourself means, is understanding your nature of how you like to get things done and how you do things. Like it's actually if you take a step outside of yourself and watch yourself for a day. And then see how many things, you know, as the way you would do things that you're like, okay, yeah, I guess I do it that way. And the other thing is, like, what could you improve on if you were able to sit back and look at that and the way you are? Is there anything you can improve or anything to make it more efficient? Because that's really what quality control is. Like a lawyer hit me, like about quality control. He understood because he's looking at how all these clerks put their time in the research to help these cases, and there is the most efficient way to do it. There's proven ways that the research can be done in a most efficient way, and that's what the quality control looks at. They look at how you're doing your technique and the most efficient way it can be done. Industrial engineer, that's what my stepdad was. That's kind of how I got kind of some of the interest in it. And I mean, really like taking apart. Let me give a better example. Let me see. Okay, I think like taking apart and being able to look at the part and figure out what's wrong with the part. First of all, you spot what's wrong and then know what would cause the problem. Because, sometimes we'd have to shut down these big old presses, and I'm like, oh, I know what this causing this. And I had to go to the dude and I'm like, man, you ain't cleaning this press off. What's going on? You fucking the parts up. And I had to go to his manager, and the manager would, go look at the press. We'd have to shut the line down. They'd look at the press like, this is what's causing it. And they would have to shut the line down and clean the motherfucking press because the press wasn't cleaning, the person wasn't spraying it or whatever the fuck the press needed. I mean, the Wayne brothers used to always make fun of Jamaicans and, Jamaican people, having multiple jobs and stuff. But that's anybody should have multiple hustles. I mean, there's so many opportunities to make money. I've turned down so many little things. Like I just out of kindness of my heart, just helping people. They'd offer me money. I'm like, I don't really need it. I'm good. Thank you. You can keep that. I didn't do this. I got time to do it. But, people are so used to that's what today is. Everybody, wants to get paid for the time, of course. And that's, you when you work, that's your time. Think about that. So you should enjoy what you're doing and like the people that you're working with. You ain't really got to like them. I take that back. You have to be able to work with them, not necessarily like them. Be able to work with them. It's two different things. It's finally not baking in this room. I opened that window. I turned the fan off, though. Man. And it's not cold. It's 31 degrees. It's not really that cold. But the furnace and it's a lot to heat up. And so, it goes back into, be proud of what you do. Be proud of yourself. Just like a lot of times people want to harp on, failures and stuff, but talk about the success too. Yeah, 14 job. Exactly, James. Exactly. Exactly. How many jobs you got, Mon? And that's, everybody, that's hustling. You just, whatever needs to be done, you can, find a way to get a little lick out of it. That's all. That's all it is. That is all it is. And so, you should make the most out of it. That's it. I mean, I like doing this because I like to be able to make myself think for some time. I like to be able to make myself think on the fly, and find something to talk about and think about. So I do like that aspect of it. I'm a natural night owl. And I better take these pills while I got just a little bit of water left. Mm. There we go. Got it down. But as I was saying, everyone should have a little bit of hustle in themselves. Whatever it is, maybe you can make your hustle out of one of your hobbies, a little hustle. There's nothing wrong with that. I've sold a little bit of everything. I was selling essential oils and shit, so I've sold a little bit of everything. Luka and all the guys scoring the points. I think they want to break Wilt's record. It's interesting the way they want to tear Wilt's accomplishments down and push Jordan and LeBron over him. Like Kareem was never as dominant as Wilt. No one was really as dominant, and so I don't know they want someone to break Wilt's record. Wilt. It wasn't that like before Wilt came that people couldn't score, because a few people did. If you look at the records before Wilt, it was like 40 something, I think. But Wilt brought something that had never been done, where the dude is just constantly hustling, blocking shots, hustling, getting passes. I mean, young Wilt was like never anything like that before. I mean, you just don't understand. When you average 50 points a game, you had some 70 and 80 point games. 60, because he had the most consecutive, 60 games, like 400 and some. Well, it was some crazy number of the times he scored 60 points. I mean, it was like an outrageous number, and I don't understand that. And so they want that record broke. And I predicted Wemby would probably break it, but you've been seeing they've been scripting it more and more. And I think it should be an asterisk, because if they do break his scoring record, he didn't have a 3-point play. So it should have an asterisk if they do break his record, because all these people, even Kobe's 81 game, was with the help of a 3-point play. And, I broke down, who the all-time, best 3-point shooter was with Louis Dampier. Clearly, without a manipulated system, his stats hold that he's the best, 3-point shooter of all time without the help of manipulation. And that's easy to see. I mean, the ABA definitely didn't have any type of manipulation in them games. The NBA was very limited. The first couple times, it was only 1, 2, 3 shots, one or two shots, one shot a game, it appears. Oh yeah, and I got to tape that. I got to see if this documentary is still on, and let me watch it again and tape it, so I can get the first manipulated shot. I caught it in an old movie. I was like, oh shit, I didn't know. So I got to put that one out there. I'm gonna make a short on that. What, at 100-point game, 78-point game, and 73-point game? Yeah, James. Yeah, I mean, well, like, and look at all the 40s and 50s and 60s. What, his record of 50-something rebounds, 51 rebounds? Like the year he averaged 50 points, he averaged something like 30 rebounds a game. I think he still has the most rebounds in one game, like 50-something. And as I've said before, look at the 67 season. Get that book. That's a great book. I got to get another copy. But that's a great book. I mean, Wilt is just so dominant. Nobody's ever played like him, with the energy. Wemby doesn't have the energy that Wilt had. Again, Wilt didn't foul out until he played in the ABA. I think that was the first time he played in the ABA game, and he fouled out. And he was old then. It wasn't like he was probably in his late 40s then. Because Wilt he only played a couple ABA games before they took him to court. The Lakers must have been the owner option. That's what they would hold over your head. Well, you signed for us to have an option and you retired, so we still hold the rights to if you came back, instead of retiring when you was a free agent, not leaving anything on the board. That's the mistake he made. And go another season, and if you injured, play the season injured. That's all he had to do. Get that contract, that option contract out the way. Get the option out the way. So. But that's what's coming. Wemby's going to score 100 if somebody else is. And it's going to have asterisk because Wilt didn't have the opportunity to shoot threes other than, getting fouled. Some records will never be broken. I don't know. I think they want to have some foreigner have that record. That's my guess. They want to have a foreigner have that record. So, and now the way they can manipulate games, it's not hard to manipulate. So that's what I'm thinking is they want a foreigner to have that record. So we'll see. We'll see. But man, is it mild everywhere? I mean, it's going to be so mild up here. It's going to be amazing. Nice day just to travel, be around, chill. Super, super amazing. The days are getting longer. I don't know how the summer's going to be. This mild winter. Normally it was, normal summers. Last 2 or 3 years, of course, they've been screaming drought a little bit. We'll see. Emmett, all-time leading rusher record. Now that one's going to be harder because no one really, the running back position isn't the same. You're not going to get you're not going to get the touches. You're just not going to get the touches anymore. That's the problem with breaking Emmett's record. You got to get the touches. Them getting 25, 30 a game, like Barry Sanders got and Emmett got for 10 years to get them. Well, Barry, 9 years? Emmett, more than that. Was getting all them touches. He was getting touches with the Cardinals. They was giving him touches. He was getting nice little runs. So rushing yard, but they said Jim Brown's record would never be broken. But I would say just the way again, what I said is, the back is not going to get the touches to get them to break that type of record. Not like the previous people, especially Emmett. You're not going to get a guy that's going to get 25 touches for 10 years again. I mean, it's just the game has changed. Yeah, the game has changed. So yeah, you won't get the touches. And maybe that is, a record they'll hold sacred because of Wilt, because he put a lot of effort in that season. We've never had a season where a dude scored freaking 50 points a game and he didn't even get the MVP. They gave the MVP to Russell because they won it. I mean, the stats were, people didn't like Wilt. There was no way he didn't have one of the best seasons of all time. That's why you can say what you want about, and that's all they could really say is Wilt lost, but they couldn't say anything about what he was accomplishing when he played. He accomplished more than anybody really accomplished. So, and I think, he got in a lot of situations where people didn't know how to coach him either. Because a lot of people just like, get into Will do his thing, everybody stand around. Yeah, that's not the way to do it. Frank Gore was the closest. Yeah. Where they had a feature back. Detroit, both Detroit backs got 1,000 yards. And, that would extend everybody's career. If you could have a back that with you that long that you both could get that, both gain it. And again, you talking about 17 games. Jim Brown did it, and OJ did it in 12 games. Yeah, I don't think OJ was 14 games. I think OJ did it in 12 games. Ran 2,000 yards in 12 games, and they didn't let. And then, and that was the season. And then Adrian Peterson, they didn't let him break Eric Dickerson's record, and it was only 3. He was only 2-3 yards from it. Single game. It was like, I think Eric Dickerson's record is 2,053. Yeah, 2000. So it was like he, or whatever it is, it was like he was 3 or 4 points away from it. So they stopped him from breaking it. But it probably still put him in the Hall of Fame. Adrian Peterson, again, you're not going to get featured like he was. So, so Adrian Peterson was another one that had opportunity, but that it leaves. When that running back stuff leaves, it leaves. When you can't dodge and stuff, that stuff goes pretty quick. A receiver can kind of get away with it. You just have to learn, know the defense and learn how to get around. But them backs, when you can't hit that stuff as quick, it becomes very evident, that something's going on with you, that you kind of lost a little bit. And think about it, like the lineman and the backs is the only one that get hit every time. Like the defensive linemen and the backs, they get hit every time. Every time he gets it, he's going to get hit. And defensive offensive linemen they're hitting every time. Sometimes the linebackers have to hit too, but those groups of people hit every time. So I don't know. Anybody out there, like a lot of people, y'all know what electric football is and shit? Where you put the little men, we used to paint the men and shit. It's funny seeing that kind of thing. And, it was just so funny. Like I knew when I was a boy, I knew formations and shit. So, I would put them in formations where I knew they could work. And you'd hit that, and then if you do the bottoms a certain way, you could make them go straight and they wouldn't just go in a circle and stuff. Yeah. But I used to have fun with that because I see groups of men that do that now and buy those things and paint their favorite teams, paint their high school teams. That's what we used to do. We'd have paint parties and paint them all, paint all the players and stuff. So everybody had we had enough leagues, so we had all the teams. It was like 5 or 6 of us, so we each had enough where it made the league, and so we could play like that. So. Well, in closing, I'm going to say this is like, have some type of peace of mind. Learn to, as I was saying, giving an example of my mother, learn to turn the sound off. Have some time that's just your sound and you. No music, no nothing. It's just you. Tap into your breathing. Tap into your heart beating because it's your friend. Your heart would never attack you. All it asks is, make it pump every now and then and try to be a little careful about what you put in it. I think that's all it asks. But isn't that funny? They call it a heart attack. Like your heart would attack you. And that's not what's really happening. It's something, other problems that's causing it to fail, not be efficient. It's not really attacking you. There's some other cause that's making it not work right. I had a strong smell of cat for a second. Maybe that came from outdoors or something. It's funny, I put the bird seed out and I saw the squirrel eating it, and I don't care. Some people get all tied up. I want the birds to have that. And, they put grease on they'd put the, the shit high and put grease on the pole so only people could fly into it. It's like, I don't care. It's like it's whatever's out there. This is for y'all. I ain't tripping like that. I'm like, whoever this, and they don't really need it now because the weather's so nice. They ain't struggling. The weather's nice. The geese ain't here. The geese ain't gonna come back for a couple more months. But the ducks is here. Them finch, I didn't even know finch didn't migrate. I guess they so little. Birds only about this big. Cardinals, blue jays, they still around here. I don't know where the hell they go when it gets super cold, but they are still here. Because I've been putting that seed out there, and blue jays come every morning, every day now. Well, not blue jays, but cardinals. They come. So I just want to be in tune with nature that's around me. I have a tree in the backyard. We got our tree. The neighbors got Christmas lights on it, but that's good. I love trees. Like we looking at houses. I want houses with a tree. No doubt. It says it's time to stand up. Well, I think I'm just gonna cut it. I can read. I'm gonna have to read for a minute because yeah, I guess I'll go a few minutes more. Let me see where I'm at. Okay. I'll go a little longer. Yeah, maybe 10 more minutes. I can go. Yeah, it's hard to all the options out here in this world. It's hard to know what to tap into. It really is. I think we all listen to different ideas and expressions, and we try to really figure this out. Is how does all this work for me? How can I have what he's talking about or what he's doing? How can I get that enlightenment or whatever it is? How do you tap into it? And, as I was saying before, as you tap into you first, before you can expand, you really got to know you. And I guess I could go further in it saying like, what is the spiritual you like? Or do you even know your spiritual self? I mean, most people aren't even really attuned to that. You just say, I'm, religious. But that's a little different than being spiritual. Because spiritual doesn't necessarily come with dogma. All religion comes with dogma. Spiritual's not, it's an individual quest. And then you can tap into many sources and make it on your own. I mean, really, alchemy is cooking. Is alchemy. That's a lot of things you do. Pouring a beer or a drink into a glass is a type of alchemy. You're moving the liquid around. And there are definitely, crystals and these other things can be helpful. I mean, everybody ain't in tuned, so it doesn't mean it's going to work for everybody, but some things, can work. And it doesn't have to be very expensive to make it work for you. And, I was guilty when I first got into crystals. I wanted to buy them all. Like, hey, this sounds pretty good. Let's have this around. And then I was like, well, you know what? This stuff has a purpose. So when I need this, when I need that, when I need this, or if, people ask, I, know where to point them. Say, oh, this could help with this. Let me stand up. There we go. Oh. Whew. Okay. All right. All right. Here I go. But yeah, know your spiritual you. And then, the other part is how often can you work on your spiritual you? Because, people look at meditation and stuff. Like I was showing that dude that's lived to be 200 years. I mean, look how long he got to practice what he did. Look how long it took him, he practiced what he did, And he was the perfect combination of living at the right place at the right time. Everything that would give him longevity, he lived around. He lived around a culture of longevity. That they all knew that they followed this thing, and then at 70 years old, he was joining the army at 70. So his first 100 years, he was still a young man. I mean, do you see how amazing that is? Again, let me repeat myself. This cat's first 100 years, he was still a young man after 100 years old. That is truly amazing. And that shows you it doesn't have to be the way it is with us. That it has to do with air quality, water quality, food quality, medicine quality. So it shows you. You look at the Bible and you say Methuselah and all them, that's myth. You look right at this guy. There is a secret there, obviously, that if you live a certain way, your first 100 years, you should still be young. And when he was 200, he knew people that was 500 years old. And isn't it interesting that these people that lived that long did not try to, invade? Did not live that long for power? Lived a simple life? I mean, I guess the one guy was in the army for a while, but it doesn't seem like he was a conqueror. Like he became king because he lived so long. Didn't seem like that from what I've studied about him. Because, they show you vampires live forever. They're manipulating times. And so, what we can do, though, is we can work on our mind. Because that is one thing that is constantly under attack. I was reading about Jay Leno's wife. Dementia is bothering her. They probably just in their early 70s. And, I've talked about my friend that early 50s. No, I think he probably was 57, 58 when he passed. And the multiple friends that was once, great athletes that, just bad health choices. So, and, it caught up with them. And, I was going to tell this story, but it's like, yeah, yeah. I'll leave that one alone. I'll leave that one alone. But my point is, you can get your mind strong as possible, and it's good to start thinking about that kind of thing now. Because there are things that can help you with your mind. Now, I'm a prime believer in this. I wear this constantly, and I got a big chunk in my bed for me and my wife. Yeah, it may transform me a lot, but it also works up here, and it works with the gold. And gold, that's one reason why you want to wear gold around your neck, is because it's one of the metals that would definitely go into the middle. Again, copper and silver is going inside deep. But it's not really necessarily. I mean, silver, yes, it does. Yeah, I guess it go to parts of your quantum mind, absolutely, but more internal, than well, the difference is this gold directly wants to deal with your mind. It directly wants to help with your mind and your thoughts and your consciousness. Silver is worried about everything. I guess that's the way to say it. Silver wants to be everywhere for you. And that's why you can actually take Kaleido Silver. Crazy Sergeant gave me some packs of that stuff. That you can get Kaleido Silver. You can buy that. Kaleido Gold, Kaleido Silver. Like gold flakes, you can actually, people put it on cakes and stuff. Real gold. Because, when people just beat that gold and beat that gold and they beat that gold into paper. And it's like, I never understood, because like you're beating the worth out of it to me, but who am I? Ah. And so I guess my point is take time, for your spiritual practice. You are who you are and where you are, and be satisfied with that. And if you think you need to be more of this or that, well, make do what it takes to be more of this or that. Learn. I mean, and that's the problem with belief, is like people don't really learn and don't study what that believe. And I really found that, the more they study, it's less to believe. That's it. It's like the more you study that stuff, it's less to believe of it. And no disrespect to Islam, but Islam, the way it's presented, is just, it's all over the place with the stories. The stories don't follow at least a pattern. It's like you're in the middle, you start in the middle, and then you go to the beginning, then you go to the end, then you go back to the middle. It's really not cohesive at all. And then, you see that, these are words of men. This ain't God words. Even now they want to say the Pope is God's spokesman. Well, there's no way that's possible. It's one group of people that changed from one culture, and yeah, definitely one culture went into another culture, and that came through Isabella pretty much. But the old culture still survived, and then it turned into a religion. Because technically, if you look at who defeated the old Roman Empire, and it was Napoleon. Napoleon is the one who defeated the old Roman Empire. Look that up. It's Napoleon. So you see what they turned into? The Romans turned into the Vatican. And that ain't nothing new. People have been understanding that. But not just them. So did them peoples. Them peoples turned into the Vatican too. That's what the Jesuits are. The Jesuits and the the Jesuits. That's who the Jesuits are. Conversos. And so, religion has harmed society in tremendous ways in the name of, conquering, control. I mean, that book I got about God's bankers, the amount of money, I mean, it's just mind-blowing. And they're still, this is obviously a business that's laundering money that helped Nazis escape. I mean, it's just, it is not what it's proclaimed and not what they put, what they say they are. I mean, look at some of the people that they've made saints, and you just like, you look at your head, you just like, really? And saints supposed to do some kind of miracle. That's what a saint's supposed to do. They did a miracle. Now, one of the first saints was Saint Stephen, and he's a saint because he got stoned to death. And I think, he's one of the first martyrs. So what did he do that was miraculous other than getting stoned to death? But I guess he got stoned to death in the name of Christianity. Well, do you still believe in Christianity? Yes, I do. Pow, rock to the head. It was an old movie. It was an old movie called The Lottery. Anybody ever see that? It was a short movie called The Lottery. And that's like, it's always supposed to be a lottery. That's all the people gathering and shit. Yeah, we've had the lottery forever. I mean, giving you this kind of propaganda. And then there's this young woman that comes up and, everybody gets their number. Then they call the number. And the lady that comes up late, she's the one that's got the number. And everybody backs up. And the whole town rocks this bitch to death. This is like some kind of sacrifice. I saw this movie in school. It's called The Lottery. I saw it more than once. It's called The Lottery, though. And they stoned this chick to death. She's like, well, do we have to have the lottery? And they like stoned her to death. It was like some kind of, they didn't explain why they stoned her to death. Again, it'd be some kind of ritual for the gods. And it was like earlier, they was talking about, I'll tell you, those three dudes froze in the back of Kansas City. That's interesting. If you study that, they was like supposedly outdoors drinking and watching the football. And then they just got left outside. Like one dude goes and sleeps for a couple of days. The other person leaves. And these guys, they ain't smart enough to, it's kind of cold. Fuck this game. Let's go back in the house. So that, definitely is probably some kind of sacrifice for Kansas City. And it was interesting. I talked about this last night. Saturday Night Live showed Kansas City losing. But obviously, it went opposite of that. They gave them publicity because they won. That's what them being on there. See, they had them in a scene like they lost, but in reality, they were showing you because they won. So that's kind of a little interesting tip. And so if you study certain things, then, you come to the conclusion that believing in something you can be let down, and you can give energy to something that's not you. Because you're your own consciousness. And so anything outside of that is, is not you. Now, we can have guides and inspiration, no doubt, but still, what comes from you? What is your thought? What is your intuition? Because intuition kicks in sometimes, and do you ignore it or do you go with it? So, but like confidence, confidence is just being. That's all confidence is. It's just being. It's a state of mind of being. So all you really need to do is just be confident. Goes with nothing else. I know Sly always teases people, talking about the dudes that can't get women and stuff, but I mean, the worst thing really a woman can say is no. And then what's interesting is the way women look today, and the way they present themselves. And it's like, you don't even like, I don't know. Like I saw a young lady working in the comedy club and she's about the same size as my daughter that I didn't get to raise. And it's like the same style. Like if you put them next to each other made up, they would look almost identical. What made them believe that, this is beautiful? And I said she got it from her mother, but, It's like it's a standard of beauty out there that's like the more unreal you can look, the more it's beautiful for the pictures. Because we know, when ladies got all that all the time, how they got to move around when they go to sleep and stuff. They got to take that stuff off their face, take them eyebrows off, throw their hair in something. They look like a complete different person. And it ain't good for your skin. Women, losing their hair because they keep gluing things on there. And you got women looking bald and they don't even realize it. I think that really is like, to me, where it's like, how doesn't a woman see that what she's doing to her hair is making her bald? Now, thinning hair with age, okay, of course. But some of these women, again, when you're putting all that glue on top and that glue, it just eats into your skin and it makes your hair go back and back and back and back. Just like male pattern baldness of a dude. Or if you're a woman and you're just combing your hair back all the time, or you're pulling your hair back all the time, you're weakening your hair. And so often everybody wants to have ponytail, but you're technically weakening your hair if you wear it like that all the time. And I see a lot of women have the same hairdo. Like one girl, she wears her hair, straight back every day. And, she let her afro come out. Her afro was like kind of backwards. The next day she came, she was like, that afro was down. She had her hair pulled back. I wonder what I did with it. I had a cigar. Forgot about that. I think I lost it. I completely forgot about that. I got a brand new cigar. What I do with it? Let me see if it's up here. I must have left it downstairs. I forgot about that. So I got to go down there. Well, I'm going to cut it. Yeah, I better cut it now. All right, y'all. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Let nature eat. Those are punishment positions. A line running back, middle linebacker. No doubt. Peterson, yeah, he was dope. Yeah, I agree, James. Well, thank you guys. Tomorrow, Monday. Yeah, maybe I might be on. I don't know. Might take Monday, Tuesday off. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be on tomorrow. Ain't really nothing going on tomorrow. Building up to the Super Bowl. Maybe I'll come down and see if anybody else dies. I got the names here for these two. So thank you guys definitely for hanging out, and definitely till we meet